Dark Histories looks at our top 3 mysterious archaeological discoveries. These items represent real mysteries that largely remain unsolved. Please do comment, drop a like, and of course subscribe for more content. Number 3. The mysterious geoglyphs and big circles of Jordan. Although not as well known as the Nazca lines in Peru, the geoglyphs are in fact older and no less startling. Located in the Black Desert of Jordan, they were first encountered by pilots during World War I. RAF Flight Lieutenant Percy Maitland published an account of them in 1927 in the journal, Antiquity, reporting that the Bedouin called the structures works of the old men, a name still sometimes used by modern-day researchers. Whilst the structures we are referring to look like wheels, other examples of geoglyphs have been spotted around the Middle East, with varying shapes and designs. The wheel-like structures have now been cautiously dated at 8,500 years old. The spokes of these wheels predominantly point to a southeast by northwest direction and align with the winter solstice sunrise. Although Dark Histories believes this to be an unintentional anomaly as there is no other astronomical evidence associated with these glyphs. But what was their purpose? It's thought that different wheels may have served different uses. The presence of cairns indicates a possible association with burials. Other constructs which have been called kites by the archaeological community are believed to have been used for the trapping of antelope. Further excavation is required to shine light on these interesting structures, but until then their true purpose remains a mystery. The big circles are a collection of 12 giant circular geoglyphs spread across parts of Jordan and Syria. Despite being more than 2,000 years old, they remain largely unknown with very little archaeological work having been done. The circles were discovered in 1920 by a British pilot named Lionel Rees when he flew across the deserts of what would become Jordan. The pictures Rees took of these immense stone circles became some of the earliest aerial archaeological photographs of these structures. It has only been in the last 10 years that they have started to gain more attention through the work of David Kennedy, a researcher at the University of Western Australia. The big circles are built of low stone walls that are no more than a few feet high. They are nearly circular, ranging from 720 feet to over 1,200 feet across. The circles originally contained no opening, which indicated that they were not used for holding cattle and potentially were not used for trapping antelope either. Some questions that have been asked: are the big circles and older wheel geoglyphs related? Perhaps the circles were the final vestiges of wheel/kite building that began almost 6,500 years before the circles were made. Intricate designs replaced with plain circles? Their purpose remains a mystery. Number 2. The mysterious cairn in the Sea of Galilee. A massive stone structure discovered under the waters of the Sea of Galilee has archaeologists baffled as to its age and purpose. The mysterious construction is cone-shaped, made of basalt cobbles and boulders, and weighs an estimated 60,000 tons. To put that into perspective, the Eiffel Tower weighs only 10,000 tons. At a height of 32 feet and a diameter of about 230 feet, this is a big structure that would make it almost twice as large as Stonehenge. It was first detected in the summer of 2003 during a sonar survey of the southwest portion of the sea. Divers have confirmed that it is definitely man-made and was built on land, only later to be covered by the Sea of Galilee as the water level rose. Due to its size and composition, the dive team labeled it a cairn. Researcher Yitzhak Paz, of the Israel Antiquities Authority and Ben-Gurion University, believes it could date back more than 4,000 years. The more logical possibility is that it belongs to the 3rd millennium BC, because there are other megalithic phenomena from that time that are found close by. The researchers list several examples of megalithic structures found close to the Sea of Galilee that are more than 4,000 years old. One example is the site of Khirbet Batia, located some 19 miles east, which comprises 3 concentric stone circles, the largest of which has a diameter of 184 foot. If the 3rd millennium BC date idea proves correct, it would put the structure about a mile to the north of a city called Bet Yara. During the 3rd millennium BC, this city was one of the biggest sites in the region, and its people would have had the organization and planning skills to construct the cairn. However, until the site can be properly excavated, its purpose and date of construction remains a mystery. Our number 1, the Guatemalan head. Discovered in the 1950s, deep in the Guatemalan jungle, some 10 kilometers from the village of Louisiana, this gigantic stone head has stirred the imagination due to the mystery around its construction and purpose. The face had fine features, thin lips and large nose, and its gaze was directed up at the sky. Unusually, the face demonstrated Caucasian features which were not consistent with any of the pre-Hispanic races of America, especially the Olmecs, who were famous for creating stone heads with African features. Significant amounts of Olmec-based evidence has been found in that region, but this item would have been a major change in design and construction or them, making it unlikely that they created the head. Unfortunately, when a serious effort was undertaken to study the head further, it was found to have had its face had been almost completely shot away by anti-government rebels who had infiltrated the area. Much in the same way the Sphinx of Egypt had been damaged by the Turks. Dark histories cannot help but notice a similarity of sorts with the Moai of Easter Island and wonder whether that could have been any influence from the people of Rapa Nui. During a brief inspection, the head was measured to between 4 and 6 meters in height, which is right in the average height of the Moai. Either way, this head represents a real mystery that as it stands will never be solved. On this video, we thought we would include an honorable mention. The stone spheres of Costa Rica are an assortment of over 300 petrospheres found on the Diquis Delta and on Isla del Cano. The spheres are commonly attributed to the extinct Diquis culture who disappeared after the Spanish conquest. The stones are believed to have been first created around 1000 AD. They range in size from a few centimeters to over 6.6 feet in diameter, and weigh up to 15 tons. Most are sculpted from gabbro, limestone, and sandstone. They appear to have been made by hammering natural boulders with other rocks, then polishing with sand. The degree of finishing and precision of working varies considerably. The gabbro came from sites in the hills, several kilometers away from where the finished spheres are found, though some unfinished spheres remain in the hills. They are thought to have been placed in lines along the approach to the houses of chiefs, and some have attributed their use to the usual astrological hypothesis. However, when it comes to these stones, their true purpose is a mystery.